Welcome back to Breaking Fallout. In our last episode, we did some running around Concord to get a few traders set up, like Carla, the traveling trader, who will come here to Sanctuary. Right now, I'm finishing up duplicating the crystal and the fiber optics that we had picked up, just to go over the duplication again. Once you have everything broken down to its raw pieces, you're going to drop it on the ground and go into the workshop menu, hopefully without a follower getting in your way. And then you're going to hit scrap, select, and then store right after select, all in pretty quick fashion. You're basically trying to interrupt the scrap with the store. So you heard the scrap sound, you see this saying it wants to store, so now that just doubled it. Let's try it again. Again, you're rolling your fingers from square to X to circle on PlayStation. I went over it more in depth in a previous video, but now you see how my crystal is now a 288 and my fiber optics is a 256. Now, I also spammed shelves to the wall. That way we could level up to level 13. So we're going to make sure to grab gun nut, armor, our second level of Idiot Savant, and never get the third level of Idiot Savant. It just messes up the experience gain. We got 3 to choose from. Go ahead and get local leader because that will be necessary eventually. And we could probably get our first level of better criticals. Yeah. So far, so good. Now, you notice I'm not taking anything for damages. I haven't taken Iron Fist, Big Leagues, Rifleman, a Gunslinger, Commando, none of them. Heavy Gunner, don't need them. What we will need for upgrading our damage is Basher, and also we're going to be needing Science, and that's where we're headed next. But before we head out, wait, we got one more level? Ooh. One more level, eh? Medic. Either Medic or Hacker. We're going to go with Medic just to stay up. But eventually, Hacker is going to be one of our things because our companion will handle locksmithing. That way, between the two of us, we can infiltrate anything at any time. But right now, this is an upgrades video. We can't upgrade much when it comes to the power armor because we don't have the science needed to get the mods and things like that. But what we can do is we can use our little trick before to come down from Model B, get to Model C by rolling our finger down after we hit right on the D-pad. And we're going to make Model C equipment. So that's going to give us something. We also are going to take the military paint. We've got the hot rod, but we don't need agility as much as we're going to need the strength. Prism shielding. Actually, prism shielding is the best thing because of the energy resistance. And we really don't need that plus to strength because being in the power armor already gives us 11 strength, which is good enough. So yeah, that's Model C and prism shielding. That way more defense. I am a fan of prism shielding. You will see this. It's one of my personal favorites just because who doesn't like more defense? Especially since energy weapons can be rather devastating at times. But this is just giving us as much defense as we can get for the road ahead. So again, as you press right on the D-pad to make lead painting, make sure that you have whatever else highlighted, and then confirm. It'll make what is highlighted instead. And it is still taking the components necessary, but we're a step ahead in armor where we need to be. We're a step ahead of defense where we need to be. So that's what we're doing for the armor. Now for our weapons, first of all, we're going to transfer the things we no longer need. I'm not going to be using the Fat Man. Yeah, I'm not going to be using the Fat Man. We no longer need that. We need the minigun. We no longer need this, this, or this. So what we're going to do now, for the minigun, all you need to do is go to the muzzle and give it the shredder. That's it. That now makes it the best melee weapon in the game. We are going to make a 4-crank capacitor here. I don't think we really need the bracket, do we? Yeah, we probably do. But damage and range, full stock. Give ourselves a night vision scope. And we have no muzzle, because we don't have the science yet. But in case we can't run up to it and shredify it, then that's what the musket is for. If we have to snipe, we have an option for it. Now, way number one that this is broken. Let me go ahead and favorite these. The shredder. Hold on. So swap weapons because we ran out of ammo. And I'll swap back to it. Now when you pull the trigger, it's going to say that you're missing ammo up there in the corner, but you can see it takes our AP to keep this thing running. Okay? And also it's based off of strength. So as of right now, even though we have a 7, which is doing decent, it's yeah. It's not as good as it can be when we hop in here and our strength goes up to 11. So that's going to be giving us some really awesome damage. But also, our AP no longer drains, so we can do this indefinitely. It's rather cheap, incredibly broken, and I'll show you how. We're going to go to the map. And then we are going to come to the Drumlin Diner. And turn that off first, because I decided not to bring the settlers here. And because of that, I had been stashing all of this fresh food. So we're going to go ahead and put it away to give us a little more carry weight. And in case we ever do want to bring them back here, we have that to feed them with. Because the idea is you can plant it and then they'll take care of it and make more of it. We also need to drop off all of our mods. They don't weigh much, but they did weigh something. So now we've got that all going for us. And now we're going to head back to the Drumlin Diner. Because right now our goal is to go pick up the bobbleheads of intelligence and the bobbleheads of strength. But before we do that, we're going to grab another bobblehead along the way, and it happens to be close by at the Corvega plant. The same one where we've gotten the storage room key off of Gristle. So it's easy to see it. You're just looking for the large towers in the distance. And we don't have very many power cores, so we're not going to be running. Now there's always a random encounter in this house. I'm going to be avoiding that at this point in time, because again, we are just trying to go for a bobblehead. A rather useful bobblehead when it comes to a power armor user. Even so, if you are using the Gatling laser, it will affect it too. So you can see Corvega here. Now, we are not going to be going inside and using the key just yet. Instead, we are just trying to grab one item along our way. There's some 5mm ammo in this ruined house up on the second level, but that will also pull out the rad roaches when you go grab it. There's also an Unshanka hat, the hat that increases your intelligence that we already were fortunate enough to find. But we're just going around back of Corvega here. Nice rad storm coming through. Now what we want is up at the tippy top in that blue tower. And the way to climb up starts back here. Now when you get close enough, you're going to find a military signal. It's going to bring up fire support as a mission. Come on, you can make that, can't you? There we go. But we are just coming around back here so we can start climbing Corvega. There's going to be a whole bunch of raiders, but they are no longer a threat. Just to reiterate the point that this is broken, we're going to go up to very hard. Now the benefit of playing on very hard is you have a chance of running into legendary enemies. Now sadly, because I've already been in the area, none of these guys are legendary since they've already loaded. But if we fast travel or head somewhere new, then it will reset. So, very gruesome method, but very effective one at that. So what's happening here is the bashing damage that guns do is being rapidly done. So there are a few things that will boost its damage, and they're not conventional damage boosters. The only one that is glitched for it is the guns and bullets magazines will increase its damage for some reason. But mainly it's going to be the basher skill compiled with better criticals, because eventually basher is going to allow that to critical. Oh wow, I landed softly because I landed weird. Coming in here, there's ammo and meds. But we're just going to continue on, taking anybody else out along the way. And I really don't need the ammo. The only reason I'm taking it is because... Where are you? Oh, you're up. Is because it doesn't weigh anything, and you can sell it for monies in case we run low on stuff. It's also good to give to followers, because they do not have infinite ammo. So, save it up and give it to them. And I'm not going to be taking everybody out. Just everybody that's along the way. And we are already over-armored for this area and its difficulty level. The only downside is you'll have to repair the armor almost constantly, but we have plenty of resources and can get plenty more resources. So not the end of the world. But we are just trying to climb right now. And again, in case you can't reach somebody, that's what the laser musket is for. It's the most damage you're going to get out of one shot. So be a good sniper. So now that we've made it to the tippy top, we can collect our prize, which is the bobblehead of repair. So now our fusion cores will last 10% longer. Doesn't sound like much, but anything is better than nothing. So now we get a good view as well. You can see Diamond City. But where we need to go is down here in down there in Boston. This is Cambridge. So we need to head through Cambridge, which is where we are heading next. Now you can see there is a little farm icon over here behind Corvega. Eventually we will be messing with that when we're doing settlements. But if you are doing settlements, it's one of the best because it is a farm completely run by robots and they have plenty of food to be shared with other settlements. That's why we took the first perk in Local Leader. All you have to do is take one of the bots that are there, have it set up a trade route with Sanctuary. And personally, that's how I like to set it up, is everybody sends someone to trade with Sanctuary, and Sanctuary becomes a trade hub. But we are just coming into Cambridge to find it, and you're going to start hearing gunfire when you get here. This is what that mission that popped up was about with the military signal. Beware, there are frag mines everywhere, as well as ghouls. But this is one of the best setups for ghouls because they are going to run at you, which means they are going to run into you. And it's just a massacre. But this is also true of any other melee class. It's just going to keep running into you. So, incredibly useful. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a stim pack, because we are hurting. But we're going to come over here to the Cambridge police station, and we are going to assist Dance. So don't get near him. Just try and take anybody who's coming your way out. Codsworth is going to do the same. Just do your best not to hit Dance or any of the other Brotherhood. Alright, now that everything is done, we can scavenge everything here. Eventually, we are going to want to speak with the Paladin. I'm just not going to do it on this occasion. We'll come back for that. But go ahead and just grab the anything and everything. If you don't scavenge at this point, Night Keen here is not going to be here for you to scavenge. My goodness. With the explosions. So we're just going to take anything that is useful. Normally they carry good junk, and they do, but we no longer need to scavenge for junk. So we're just looking for caps, chems, stuff of that nature. We're going to go ahead and turn off fire support. if you talk to him, actually, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Because it'll end this mission and start another one. Now, Codsworth isn't going to like that I'm using chems or alcohol. Well, he doesn't mind alcohol. Why all the questions? Now, Codsworth didn't like the fact that I'm trying to squeeze money out of people. He likes it when you're a good guy. Alright, so they're going to go inside, and they're also going to wait for you to go inside and talk to Dance to continue the mission. So, for now, we're going to move on. I'm going the wrong way. Yes, I am going the wrong way. Okay. So that gave us the level, which is nice. Again, we're going to turn that off. Let's see. Can anything that we've already gotten be upgraded? Local leader, which is always nice. That allows us to build workstations and shops at our settlements. But we are going to continue on into Boston. Go ahead and run a bit. Now, here's a tip that I almost never hear anybody refer to. The game will even tell you if your weapon is put away, you run faster, and they're right. But if you are unarmed, you run even faster. It gives you some mobility. So if you're trying to get somewhere quickly, put the weapon away, keep your fists out, and then whenever you need whatever, quick menu. But along our way into Boston across the river, we are going to make sure we find the ruins of the Commonwealth Institute of Technology. That fast travel location will be useful later on. Where did you go, Codsworth? What was that about? So now we're going to cross the bridge into Boston. If you want, you can take out this little raider colony here on the wreck of the USS Riptide. But I think there's a magazine in the boat. But there's also a raider in power armor in the back. And it's very easy to fall off. And you can't swim in power armor. I don't want to get stuck in the bay right now. Now you can hear the gunfire. That is Diamond City Guard taking on super mutants. If you want to intervene, you can. I'm just not going to bother right now. Because what we want to do is we want to trip the cutscene between Piper and the gate guard. And then we want to walk away. That way when we come back, the gate is already open. We don't have to deal with the dialogue. And we can just go into Diamond City and do our business. Now, from here, we are heading to a very specific spot. Alright, so here's the cutscene. Now we're going to be heading to the east. Now there's some mongrels that are here in this junkyard. They may notice you. They may not. They did not notice me. So we are trying to head... You know what? I'm not going to deal with you right now. What do we got going on here? Scavengers versus raiders. Oh, come on. I just fit through there. There we go. And there's a hunting rifle, but we no longer need it. It is another option. So, scavengers will usually leave you alone. As long as you don't get too close to whatever they're scavenging. There's another raider. He followed us, but I think the scavengers got him covered. We are just trying to get down this way. There we go. Because we want the Boston Public Library. So you want to talk to the intercom. So you're going to say you're an employee, and you're going to guess your ID number, and luckily that was the mayor's. So now we can enter the Boston Public Library. I'm going to go ahead and cut this episode off here. We'll pick it up from the interior. Hopefully you found this informative, entertaining, and I will catch you in the next one as we continue to break this further. Peace.